everyone, Vita's a 32 back with another How to Play. Today we're looking at how to play Cat in the Box, which is a quantum trick-taking game as it's called. 3 to 5 players. And this is the deluxe edition by Bezier Games. Very interesting, unique trick-taking game. Let's just go over some of the components you get here first of all. There is a deck of 45 cards, numbered 1 through 9. Cat cards, as you can see. And they don't have any suits, but actually they do. Because you have the 4 colors as you see here, red, blue, yellow, and green. I'll explain that in a bit. Now each card actually tells you on it how many players can play with those cards. This is 2, 3, 4, 5. This is just 5 players. So I'm actually going to remove the 5-player cards quickly. I should have done this beforehand, which is just a 9. So it'll just take a moment. I'll show you a little 4-player setup. So I'll get rid of the 9s, put them aside. And actually here on the bottom, it indicates all the information on how to set up. So if it's 5 players, you're using all the cards. 4, you're using numbers 1 through 8. 3, you're going to use 1 through 6. And 2, there is a 2-player variant, so use 1 through 5, 25 cards. Now, generally, each player is going to get 10 cards. I don't know how it works for 2 players. We're not going to worry about today. There's also these cards here, which are the research cards. And there's a white side and a purple side. And you're going to use a side depending on how many players. And again, that's indicated here. Purple for 5. White or purple for 3 and 4. So we'll just use the white. The purple is different. As you can see, it's not all the numbers are there. There's no red, 1, 2, and 3. There's missing a couple of blues, etc., etc. So we'll stick with the basic one. This is the research board. Now, if you're, let me just slide this in here. If you're playing with less players, you can just fold it up and just use that. This is for 2 players. 3 players, we'll open it up. Now, because we're doing 4 players and we're not using the 9s, we got these little cat tokens. These are the observed tokens. And they will go on the 9s to indicate that those ones are not available. Just like that. And each player is going to have their own little research tokens. This one's like, it's an apple. This one's a planet. Got a little planet. And I use it. You got like a little beaker. You got the apple. You got whatever the hell that is. And you got looks like an atom. That's cool. I'm gonna put these blue ones aside. We don't need that for that's for 5 players. Each player is gonna get their tokens. There's also a score pad. And there's a start player card. At the start of each round, you'll pass this over to the next person. You'll start off with whoever last, I guess, interacted with a cat, or whoever you want to start first. And each player is going to have their little tokens. We'll do a little setup here. Each player is also going to have one of these cards. One side is for 2 and 3. The other side is 4 and 5. I'll set that up. And each player is going to put tokens on these X's. representing each of the 4 colors. Why, you might ask? Well, I'll explain that in a bit. I'll just do a couple here. We won't worry about the other players, just so that you can see. Now, shuffle the cards. Each player is going to get 10 cards. Now, this is a trick-taking game, and it is must follow. I know what you're saying, must follow. There's no colors on the cards. What are you following exactly? But you'll see. Yeah, deal out pretty much the entirety of the deck. I must have misdealt something. Because I have an extra card. Not that it matters too much. Oops. Oh, okay, I just have an extra card apparently, or I don't know why. Let me just double check. I dealt out the right number of cards. Pretty sure it's 10. We'll go with that. So each player is going to look at their hand, and they're going to, you know, maybe they're going to get rid of a card. So maybe I get rid of this one. You're going to discard that. And each player is going to discard a card, whatever they feel like discarding. Those are out of the game. And then you're going to play tricks. You're going to play 8 tricks. And you're going to have 1 card left over at the end. Possibly 8 tricks. Possibly. So, we'll say I start, and I say I'm going to play an 8 in blue. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my token, one of these tokens I have, on the blue, indicating that I played a blue 8. The next person must follow suit. They must play a blue card, even though none of the cards actually have colors. Obviously, they cannot play an 8 because there's already an 8 in blue that's been played. So they can play something else. Now, if they want, they can say, you know, they don't have any blue. They can play something else, but we'll just say that they... Well, yeah, we'll say that they'll say that, you know, I don't have any blue. So what they're going to do is, if you don't have a color, you say you don't have a color, you take the token off of that color. And actually, I forgot one little thing. And that is, each player, we've already done that there, is going to predict how many tricks they think they're going to win. On these boards, you got a 1, 2, and 3. So 1 trick, 2, or 3 tricks. On this side, you got a different amount, 1, 3, and 4. That's for less players. So instead, this guy says, you know, I'm going to win 2, and this guy says he's going to win 3, and this guy says he's going to win 1, and then I'm going to win 2. So you're going to make a prediction on how many tricks you think you're going to win. Hopefully this is all making sense. So I played this 8. This guy says he doesn't have any, so he's going to play a different card. Maybe he plays a red 2. Now the red, as indicated with this little cat on the corner here, is trump. So like any other trick-taking game, the red suit will trump any other suit, and the highest red card played will win. Now this guy, yeah, I got so many decks of cards all over the place here. This guy's going to go, he's going to play a card, he's going to play a blue 3. And he's going to put his token on the blue 3. And then this guy is going to play, let's just say he plays a blue 2. Just like any other trick-taking game, highest card of the suit led, which is blue, will win the trick. Or, in this case, since it was trumped, the guy who played the trump wins the trick. and he collects the cards. And he'll put that aside. Now, he can no longer legally play any red cards because he said he doesn't, or sorry, blue cards because he said he didn't have any blue cards. And we'll leave all these tokens where they are. And he's going to go, he's going to play, let's say he plays a yellow 7. And the next player is going to go, and you're going to go around. And you're going to have to be careful, because in this game, you can create a paradox. So it's a fairly straightforward trick-taking game. Each player is going to play a card. The highest of the suit led will win. This guy played a 7 in yellow. So this guy says, you know what, I'll play an 8 yellow. This guy's, he's going to play, let's say he plays a 1 yellow. He's not going to win that trick. So he just plays a 1 yellow. And then it comes to me. And I can't play a 7 because that's already been played. I can't play an 8. I don't have an 8 anyways. I can't play a 1. I'm just going to say, you know, 2 yellow. So you keep going around the table like that. Highest card, of course, 1. That was this guy over here at the 8. So he gets that trick. And fairly straightforward. Now, if you get to a point where, let's say, I played... Well, I gotta figure something out here. Let's just say, you know, this guy had, let's just say we're at the end, towards the end of the game. Only a couple cards left or whatever. And I play a yellow 6. And this guy over here, let's just say he only has, there's a 9 in here. That's why there's an extra card. This guy, let's say, only has is a 6 and 8 yellow. Since the 6 and 8 yellow have already been played, he cannot play. That means he has created a paradox, and he must show his cards immediately, and the game will end. So if you ever get to a point where you have cards that you can't play because 6 and 8 in yellow have already been played, and that's it. The game is over. Now, he could say, potentially, okay, I'm going to make this a red 6. He could do that. But if you had no other option, and of course, he could play this as, you know, something else. But let's just say all the 8s were covered up, for an example. And this is the only card he has left in his hand. He can't play the 8. All the 8s have been played. They've all been accounted for. So he would be stuck. He would be creating a paradox. He can't play the 8s. He has a card that does not exist, should not exist, because they've all been played. And so that would end the game. And the other situation, too, of course, to keep in mind is this guy, for instance, he already said he doesn't have a blue card. If he gets to a point where he can't play any cards, and the only numbers that are available that he could play, for instance, let's say he had a 5, 4, and a 6, and he can't play a 5, 4, and a 6, and the only ones that are available are blue, he can't play them because he's already said he doesn't have any blue cards. So he can't play a blue 5 because he said he doesn't have blue cards way back at the beginning. So that would create a paradox. So those are 2 scenarios that will end the game early and create paradoxes. If that doesn't happen, it's likely it will happen at some point in time. It's most likely it will happen. If that doesn't happen, you keep playing around until everyone has played out the cards. And then you're going to score. You're going to see how many tricks everyone won. This guy won a trick. So he got an exact bid. He said he's going to win a trick. He won a trick. He's going to score 1 point. And he's also going to score... let's just throw a couple of these on here. So, irregardless of how many tricks you won, you're going to get points. You're going to get 1 point for every trick that you won. If, however, you created a paradox, you will lose a point for every trick. So if he creates a paradox and he has 2 tricks, he's going to lose 2 points. And you might even fall into the negative side of things if that happens. Otherwise, let's say I had 3 tricks and I bid 2, I get 3 points. If, let's say this guy bid 1 trick, which he did, and he got 1 trick, which he did, he would get bonus points. So if you have an exact bid, you will get bonus points. And the bonus points are going to be your biggest adjacent set of tokens on the board. In this case, you would get 1, 2, 3, 4. The adjacent means above and below and to the left and the right. No diagonal, so you can't do the diagonal. So, but you can do 1, 2, 3, 4 because these are all adjacent, vertically and horizontally, if you will. So he would get 5 points. He'd get 1 for the trick, and then he get 4 additional bonus points. And yeah, you're going to continue doing that around. You're going to collect all the cards, redeal them out. You're going to play 1 round per player. So 3 players, it's 3 rounds. 4 players, it's 4 rounds, etc., etc. It's a pretty interesting game, pretty unique game. I like these little tokens. They're really cool. I got no real complaints. The quality of the cards is good. Linen Finis. It's just really interesting how it's done. And you have to be careful to not create paradoxes. Unless you want to create a paradox. I don't know why you would want to, but it's pretty unique, it's available out there if you want to get it at different game websites. Originally, I think it was released in Japan. This is a much better version from what I've seen to the original version. So yeah, that is the game in a nutshell. After 1 round, you pass this to the next player. They become the start player, and that is that. That is the game. I think it's pretty cool. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.